So that year, 2017, my mom actually passed away in February. And that was one of the hardest things I had to face in my life. Just having to pick out her casket and seeing her in the casket just a couple of days later was like, oh, bro, like it did something to me, man. And it was a challenging time because, I had some guilt issues that I felt. I felt like it was my fault that she had passed because I wasn't at the hospital at the time that she did pass. Hey, welcome to the BeMoHappy Show, the podcast that's all about boosting your happiness and helping you navigate life's challenges. I'm your host, Morris Mo Chasson, and I'm excited that you're here and being a part of this new season, Resilience Revolution. We'll be deep diving into the power of resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to change, and thrive in the face of adversity. It's time to embrace challenges as opportunities for growth and unlock your inner strength. We will be joined by experts, thought leaders, and everyday heroes who have faced life's curveballs head on and came out stronger. Together, we'll explore practical strategies, share inspiring stories, and equip you with tools not just to survive, but to thrive in the midst of life's storms. So whether you're going through a tough time, seeking personal growth, or just looking for a daily dose of inspiration, join us in Resilience Revolution. Get ready for a season of empowerment, insight, and a whole lot of joy. This is the BeMoHappy Show. The Resilience Revolution starts now. So this season's all about resilience. What is resilience? Resilience is the ability to bounce back from setbacks, adapt to change, and thrive in the face of adversity. Why is resilience so important, and how does one build resilience? Me personally, I feel that resilience is important because it just gives you that warrior type spirit to where you fully believe in yourself. And even on days that you don't, you still believe in yourself in a sense, because no matter what, you keep going, and no matter what, and believe in your heart that it's going to work out, one way or another. And I think it's so powerful because through building resilience, you just don't build resilience, but you also build confidence. And I just believe that it makes you like a stronger, more versatile person because you're able to get through the hard times and still be happy with it, And I think a lot of us have resilience already, and a lot of us already have built and proved that resilience within us. And sometimes I feel some people may never get to explore their resilience because I didn't want to go here, but here we are. So I think a lot of people sometimes, say for instance, you go to school and you have a teacher, you have some friends or whatever, and these people basically kind of steal your confidence from you, where say you're a singer, right? And you're a damn good singer and you're a good singer. But at one point in your life, you had a teacher or a student, a friend, somebody tell you that, oh, please stop, don't do that again. Oh my goodness, that is terrible, don't do it. So in your mind, as a kid, you're like, oh fuck, I guess I'm not gonna do that again. I don't want anybody to come at me like that again. It really just robs you of your gift, because you deep down inside know that you're able to sing. You know that you're good at it, but you don't do it. You don't practice it. And it's all because somebody else told you that you were not good. That's the thing with resilience, because I think if you would have known better as a kid and would have been like, you know what? I don't give a fuck what you say. You don't know. That's just your perspective, because perspective is not reality. Perspective is just your reality, where you may see things one way, I may see things another way. It's okay. So like you really can't go by what one person says, you know? If you got a team of 50 people that are like, yeah, you can't sing, then you might probably cannot sing. And that's okay. But every single one of us has a gift. There we go, going off track. So we got to get back to resilience because that's what this episode is about, is resilience. But I just kind of wanted to share that a little bit, how sometimes I feel as kids, we're born to be resilient. We're born to never give up. We're born to never think that we can't do things. But somewhere along the line, we lose that confidence and that hope in ourselves. And it's part of conditioning, and it's part of outside circumstances and just people and experiences and life traumas that happens to us, you know? So we forget who we are. And it's funny because back in the days, whenever I used to see stuff, remember who you are. Remember who you are. And for me, as my growth journey like went on, I feel like remember who you are is that childlike type memory of you being a kid, kind of, because you just got to be, I don't know, innocent and happy and just free and loving and honest and authentic. And that's the real deal right there. So there's something else I want to talk a little bit about too with resilience is learning from the setbacks. You know, so many times, you know, we hope for things to go one way and it goes another way. And sometimes we give up, and sometimes we're like, fuck, we got to keep going no matter what. And I've seen this post on Instagram a while back, and it was just talking about like the success journey. And like the way they did it was the journey, you go up for a point, you come down for a point, go up, you go back straight for a little bit, you go back up a little bit more, and you just keep building and you just keep going up, you know, like, and it's not always a linear line. Sometimes it's up and down, but as long as we're constantly going up and elevating and getting better, that's what it's about. And I think those setbacks are like our best teachers in a sense, because that hard lesson is something that we're going to remember for always. Like, we may forget the little details about the thing, but that one big thing that we fucked up on or didn't work like we thought, we was like, yeah, man, I did that already. I learned my mistake. I'm not going to mess with it anymore. It's kind of like a snake, right? You go to grab a snake and that snake bites you. You're like, oh, fuck, I'm never grabbing a snake again. You know, that's learning the lesson. And sometimes it's like that with certain people that you interact with, you know, like, of course you still want the best for that person. You love that person and all that good stuff. But sometimes you know that person's energy is just toxic for you, and your whole mental health, your mental state of being just all around is affected by this one person's energy. So you're like, you know what? Like, I don't want to be around that person. I really don't care to see that person. It's best that way, you know? And it's not holding a grudge. It's just your body knows and can read that negative energy. And it's like a boundary for yourself, because you're protecting yourself. You're protecting your own mental well-being. So yeah, anyways, yeah, I'll go too deep into stuff. I hope I'm putting all this in a way to where you understand, because that's something I'm working on doing, is explaining things in ways that everybody can understand, because sometimes I understand the way things go, but I can't explain why I feel that way. So some things that I've done for me as far as adversity is, I remember whenever I first got the job at the dealership, I'd actually go into the dealership probably 7 to 10 times before I actually got the job there. I remember going there and like backing up my truck. I had a GMC truck, and like just backing up into a spot. And I like just thought I was so cool, like walking into a dealership trying to get a job. Like I was so proud, bro. Like I was so proud and so good that I was at a point mentally to where I believed that I could actually be a car salesman because, as I mentioned earlier, sometimes we have people in our lives that kind of affects our self-image where we don't believe that we could do certain things or we don't believe that we're worthy of certain things. And being a car salesman was one of those things. So that year, 2017, my mom actually passed away in February. And that was one of the hardest things I had to face in my life. Just having to pick out her casket and seeing her in the casket just a couple days later was like, oh, bro, like it did something to me, man. And it was a challenging time because, I had some guilt issues that I felt. I felt like it was my fault that she had passed because I wasn't at the hospital at the time that she did pass. And I just felt like if I would have been there, I could have saved her. Yeah, but that's not where I'm at anymore. Like I healed myself from that. I actually did a meditation to where like I was able to communicate with my mother, and she pretty much told me she was happy for me. It worked out this way because that's how it was supposed to be, and because she had esophageal bleed or something like that. So what happens is basically some artery right here in her throat or whatever like burst and just bled. So she was probably choking on her blood and all that bad stuff, So thinking back, like after, like we communicate in the dream, I guess me seeing that image of her choking like that on her blood and stuff would be a terrible memory, So I think that it worked out like it did because it was supposed to, just like she said. So anyways, going back to car sales and me fighting to get that job, you know how like they say you don't lose anything, it's always replaced. I don't know if you ever heard that before. Like we don't lose anything. So in a weird sense, I felt like I lost my mom, but I gained a whole nother life in sales in a whole different area that I've never explored, right? So I feel like for me, like it was a new life in a sense, like thinking back now. But anyways, like I went to that dealership at least 7, 8 times, like I said. And that manager, man, like he told me he was gonna hire me, like, yeah, I'm a good fit, blah, blah, blah. I think like the 5th or the 6th time I went over there. Cause I went like, it was for a year, like I would go in and pop in here and there, see if they was hiring, see if some things changed or whatever. But yeah, it was crazy. Resilient as fuck. I wanted that job, bro. Like I did. And at GMC and Toyota. But at that time, like that was the only thing I wanted to sell because that was really the only things I believed in. And I didn't want to sell something that I didn't believe in because it just wouldn't be ethical for me. So, but I finally ended up getting that job at the dealership. And I just remember, a lot of people telling me, it's like, Mo, you can't sell cars, bro. Like you're too shy. You're too timid. Like, that's not for you, bro. You should stay you belong in the background, like in the shop, doing shop stuff. And my insides was telling me, these motherfuckers just don't know. I'm about to kill it. And I did. It was a good run in the business. I loved it, But for me, like I always knew it was temporary because they required me to work every other Saturday, and I didn't like that. I wanted my Saturdays to myself, to me and my family. And another thing with resilience I learned was, and I didn't know all this till like I'm reviewing and going back, right? But before I got into real estate, I had taken the course, did the course. I waited to the last minute. Of course, you got 90 days. I think it's 90 days I think it's 90 days that you have access to the course. And me at that time, like I was kind of like a procrastinator. I still am a procrastinator in a sense. So I waited till like the last minute to do everything, right? So I took the test, and I probably had like a week or two left of access to the course and all that good stuff. So took that test. I failed it. I was like, dang, okay. I ended up taking that test 6 times before I actually passed and became the realtor. So it was hard, so hard for me because I guess like some of the questions in the test were asked in a sense to where like there were two right answers in the test. You had to know which one was more important. So to be honest, I didn't really know the material that well. I just knew what resonated with me and what I remembered, right? Not a good test taker. I'm not a good test taker. So, but you know that fifth time I took that test, I cried. I cried because I was confident that I knew it, because that week leading up to that fifth time taking that test, I was studying like 7-8 hours a day. Like I would read a couple subjects, study some quizzes. I would practice math stuff. Whew, it was tough. I cried, and like I was like, bro, like I started questioning life and my purpose and what I wanted to do in my life and all that stuff. Like I was upset. Like it was a tough time for me, bro. But I ain't give up, bro. Like after I got over that wham moment and got it out of my system, I was like, fuck, bro. Like I'm not giving up now. Like I'm gonna fucking pass this test and I'm gonna be a realtor. And sure enough, with that hard work, I applied and I studied more. I had another week to study because I think I had to wait another week or 14 days, something like that, before I could actually go test again. So I did that, waited and studied, and I passed that sucker. And I was like, fuck, yes, yes. And like, no lie, that was one of my biggest accomplishments because that was something I always wanted to do. And then it being so hard and making it happen, it was just a big thing for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. This was my first solo episode since episode 11, I believe. So that was like 20 something episodes ago. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you for listening, watching, whatever, however you're tuning in, but I truly appreciate you. And if there's anything you see that I can make this podcast better, let me know. Talk to me, send me a message. If you like it, subscribe. If you like it, can you please rate it? I would greatly appreciate it. And I hope this episode was special for you. I hope it was insightful, because that's the whole purpose of this podcast, is to help you and your journey to be easier for you and to find happiness for you in any way. Anyways, I love you. Be more happy. Let's go, baby.